I mean, that is SH like on a different level. Hi and welcome to Blossom Talk. I'm Kerstin Flo, and here on my channel I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood and working as an entertainment reporter. Just a reminder before I start this episode, if you haven't subscribed yet, it really helps my channel if you do, so hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss an episode, and also check if you have been unsubscribed because it has happened to a lot of people apparently. Anyways, I have so much stuff to go through today. Thanks to all those amazing internet sleuths out there. One of them is Elsie. Elsrich is her name on Instagram and here on YouTube. And I had her on my channel last week because she keeps finding all these old recordings and stuff from the past that keeps now haunting Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. But this little clip is pretty outrageous. So this is a clip that she found. I think it was from the director's cut of A Simple Favor, the movie that came out in 2018. It was the first one of the two of them. The second one just came out, you probably remember that, in March when Blake Lively was attending the premiere. Anyway, so Henry Golding, this was like his second film in Hollywood, because I remember I interviewed him for Crazy Rich Asian, which was his first big movie, and I interviewed him just like a few weeks later, I think, for this film. Anyway, so Henry Golding was fresh off the boat, basically, in Hollywood, and the way that Blake Lively describes how she improvised a scene with him in this clip that I'll play for you here, where she says that she grabbed his nuts, basically, and also how she wanted to grab them harder, not because she wanted to, but because she felt like her character would do that.
One of my favorite additions that you came up with, biggest nuts. And you really went for it, too.
That's always awkward. And you're like, hey, hi, nice to meet you. Can I grab your nuts? Like, really hard?
But really hard? Exactly.
Not because I want to, because I feel like she would.
Remember, we kept going like, I kept going, can you do it harder?
Yeah, and that was my tip of the hat to baby Jane Hudson.
Yes.
When she's spinning on the beach at the end.
Oh, it's so great.
Thank you, Elsie, again, for finding that clip. That is pretty outrageous. And I think it's especially outrageous because considering what Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of. You know, she even mentioned in her lawsuit it was a big thing that he smelled her hair and said she looked good. While she grabs her co-star's nuts. I mean, that is SH like on a different level, if you ask me. And the fact that, you know, Henry Golding had to kind of just play along. He's new in the business. He's so lovely, by the way. I've interviewed him 3 times. He remembered me, which I always like have a soft spot for people who remember me. But he was just such a nice, genuinely nice guy. And I think when you're so fresh off the boat here, you are just like doing whatever people tell you to do. So she was definitely in the power position there, and she did that to him. So yeah, considering what Blake Lively is accusing Baldoni of, this is just insane, if you ask me. I mean, I wonder how much stuff like this there is out there, because more and more things keeps popping up, and I'm just like, every day there's something new. I'm like, wow, how could she have filed this lawsuit against him knowing that she has so many skeletons in the closet out there that people might find? I remember my interview with Henry Golding so well because he was so sweet, and he told me that, you know, this was kind of his first big premiere, and they were supposed to pick him up in a car. He was supposed to arrive really fancy, and then somehow they forgot about it, so he was trying to get an Uber. So what about red carpets and stuff? Because that looks nerve-wracking.
Yes.
What has the experience been so far?
I nearly missed my first premiere a couple of weeks ago because the car got sent to a different hotel. I was downstairs and decked out in my beautiful Tom Ford suit, just stood in the lobby like waiting for my Uber to arrive because so I had to order.
Picked you up.
I had to order an Uber. No, because the car was so far away. So then we took the Uber to this I had this beautiful Aston Martin that was going to take me. So it was a whole panic. But I'm not going to make the same mistake come September 10th.
Yeah. So Henry Golding being so new in the industry. Of course, he wouldn't say anything to Blake Lively when she suggested that she should grab them really hard. And as Elsie pointed out in her video here on YouTube, you can see on Blake Lively's hand that she's actually grabbing it hard. Yeah. If that's okay, and if that is okay to do as an improvisation, and it's not okay to kiss the forehead as an improvisation, I mean, like, isn't that a bit of a double standard here, Blake? Talking about nuts, Blake Lively was spotted this weekend in a donut shop. It's big news everywhere that she showed up in Connecticut with her sister and her two of her daughters, I think, as well. There's a picture where Robin Lively is in the background, her sister. By the way, I heard from someone that all Robin Lively is doing all day is delete negative comments from her Instagram, which I find funny. Anyways, so I wonder why she even showed up at this event with Blake. But anyways, this is like a typical PR stunt that she's doing. I think she's doing it to be like, hey, I'm just like you guys. I'm just a regular gal. And I bring my kids and I work in a donut shop. First of all, she looks super happy. And all the articles about this saying that Blake is in her happy place. And she surprised fans. Like, fans? She surprised people who went in to buy a donut. Probably. And also, like someone pointed out, you know, why does she have her hair down like that? If you work in a bakery shop, you should put your hair up so people don't walk home with extra hair in their donuts. But anyway, she's all smiles, which I think is the dumbest PR stunt she can do right now. She's supposed to be traumatized. She's supposed to appear as a victim, you know, to convince everyone that she is basically still traumatized from what happened to her on that set at It Ends With Us, where all these serious SH claims against Justin Baldoni. Instead, she pretends like she's super happy and everything's fine, and she's just like you and me because she is working in a donut shop. She also said somewhere, I think, that she knew the owner. I think stunts like this has probably been planned for a long time. This is not something that just happens, you know, that she walks in there and she knows the owner, like, hey, let me work behind that register today. No. This is really well planned. But I don't understand who plans these things for her, because I think it's a really, really dumb move. Again, stay low. When you compare her behavior to Justin Baldoni, who's keeping a really low profile, he hasn't posted anything on social media. He just disappeared. He went to Hawaii to spend time with his family. Whenever there's a story about him, it's just from a paparazzi picture. Nothing. He's just like keeping a really low profile. And while Blake is out there being like super happy, and even at the premiere in South by Southwest, she said like, oh, I'm just super happy to be here. Like, how are we supposed to believe she's a victim when she's behaving like this? Also, there's news today that there's a new documentary coming. It's produced by Optimum for Warner Bros. Discovery. And guess who was being interviewed for the documentary? I am. Of course, I'm in all these documentaries. This is my documentary number 4. And this is going to be a series. So this was the first episode, and I think they're planning to do about 3. I was doing the shoots. I think I told you about it it's been maybe 10 days ago now here in LA, and with some lovely people from the UK. So let's see how they're angling the story, if they're also going to lean pro Blake Lively. I think today the other documentary that was a part of that is going to be on Max is premiering here today on 31st of March. It's already been on Channel 5 in the UK, and people were sending me messages saying, it's another one pro Blake Lively. So I don't know, I haven't watched it, but they cut out half an hour for the US version of the show, so let me know if you've seen it. This new documentary is called Baldoni versus Lively, a Hollywood feud. Also, someone sent me a really interesting email. They had reached out, actually, to SAG-AFTRA to ask them how they feel about and how they actually deal with situations like the one where Ryan Reynolds got his child, 7-year-old Ines, in Deadpool, being in character as Kidpool, saying really inappropriate things. I'm sure that you already have seen that story everywhere, but she reached out to SAG to ask them about it. I thought that was a really cool thing to do, to see how they responded to it. And they sent her an email back and she said I was allowed to read it out loud here. So this is what SAG-AFTRA said. They said, "Thank you for your email, and this incident was on our radar as news reports have surfaced within the last few days on this incident. I would start by clearly stating that the safety of not only our members but also the entire cast and crew of the various productions in this industry is on the utmost importance to SAG-AFTRA. This is only that much more so when it comes to minors that may be working on production sets. As it relates to this issue, I would note that regrettably the union received 0 calls, emails or any other communications regarding the incident when this production was in principal photography about 12 to 18 months ago. I only make this point to underscore the fact that when it pertains to matter of safety, addressing such issues in real time to avoid any negative repercussions is the most effective tool we have. I do assure you that the union will continue to be at the ready when reports of safety issues are brought to our attention for all performers too, particularly minors." Yes, so they said that because this is reported on now, there's nothing really they can do. I mean, who would have reported on something like that when it happened? Ines, who was 9 years old or 7 years old at the time, or anyone on the set that's been hired by Ryan Reynolds? I don't think so. But they're definitely not going to look into it, it seems, because it's already 12 to 18 months ago. I don't know what to think about this, actually, to be honest with you. Let me know what you think. If this is a good answer from them. It's just like 12 to 18 months ago. It's not that far in the past. Talking about SAG-AFTRA, though, again, why didn't Blake Lively complain to them about what she said happened on the sets of It Ends With Us? That would be the most natural thing to do in any of these situations, is to complain to the union. And also, I wanted to just give a shout out to Justin Bieber, because I've seen those latest posts that he put on Instagram and it's really disturbing. I don't know what's going on with him, but I feel like he is really struggling right now. There was a lot of posts about birds and like him looking really off, and a lot of people in the comment section was comparing the situation with Britney Spears when she was going off the rails. So yeah, I hope Justin Bieber gets help because this doesn't look good, and he just had a baby, as we know. So Hollywood and the music industry is a meat grinder, especially for young artists, and who knows what Justin Bieber has gone through in his life. So my heart really goes out to him. Anyways, that's it from me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you haven't subscribed yet, again, please do hit the notification bell, and yeah, please keep sending me tips if there's anything you want me to talk about, and if there's any other things you want to share with me. And I'm trying to get through the comment section, but sometimes there's over 1,000 comments, so it's a little hard for me to read through it all, but I'm trying. Anyways, I'll see you in my next episode. Bye!